What's going on, everyone? It's your guy, Pat Bernard, aka the Gobbler, aka Pat from Ambler. Uh, the Philadelphia Flyers lose by a touchdown. Lose by a touchdown. And I can't figure this out. Well, I kind of can. The Philadelphia Flyers get walloped by a Tampa Bay Lightning team that you knew from getting blown up by Calgary that they were going to come out on fire, and this is what happens. Um, and I'm more disappointed. I know the Philadelphia Flyers had five defensemen. I'm more of the fact that the Philadelphia Flyers did not build off this win. As a matter of fact, I'm more disappointed in Sam Harrison getting thumped, getting pulled. This was a game for you to stand tall, and your team gives you nothing. Now I can go and tell you about. Oh man, sorry about the delay here, folks. I'm having some issues with my Zoom here, but I will talk you through this. The Philadelphia Flyers. Yes, Brian says a lot closer than a 7-0 score would indicate. Totally agree with you, Brian. Joe House has a horrible loss. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's happening here. All I know is the Philadelphia Flyers better figure it out, and they need to figure it out fast. And you look at it, like we all know about the assets that they brought in here: Matthew Dunbar and Anthony Duclair. Anthony Duclair looked really, really good. Um, just really, really. He, like I said, those guys got speed. Those guys got tenacity. Those guys are, and you saw it. Matt Dunbar wanted to fight, had that fight with Sean Couturier, and yeah, it's like I said. I mean, 11 minutes into the game, and the Philadelphia Flyers were down. The Philadelphia Flyers were down 11 minutes in, down 4-0. It's unexcusable. Unexcusable. Terrible. Terrible for your Philadelphia Flyers. And right off the bat here, um, as I get ready to come try to get back into this thing, I'm obviously having some difficulties here. Let's get into your first um, sponsorship by Philly Sports Trips.
All right, guys, if you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. Go to phillysportstrips.com. They have self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights from the Philadelphia airport. Packages include direct flights, 4-night stays, all-inclusive tailgate parties, lower-level group tickets. Whatever you want, you got it with phillysportstrips.com. If you want to travel to an upcoming Phillies game, make sure you check out Philly Sports Trips. And do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2023 season. Jump on it now, because you do not want to lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com.
Oh, my right hand man, Matty B. What's up, dude?
What's going on, Pat? How you doing tonight?
Not much, man. Just had a little bit of a difficulty with my camera here, but it kind of fades out on its own. So, but no, Matty B. Again, the Philadelphia Flyers again were down. They lost by a touchdown tonight. Of course, there goes my camera again. I don't know.
I can hear you going, Pat. Keep going. Keep going.
No, but they lost by a touchdown. Again, 11 minutes in, they lost by 4 goals. They disgraceful. 11 minutes in, down 4 goals. You got Victor Holman gets 2 goals in the night. You have Anthony Duclair again making a big impact on this team. And again, if anyone's paid attention to that kid, he is quick. He's lightning speed. And again, him and Nick Paul were just clogging the lane right there. Connor Shavy, he was left wide open. Again, this Flyers team didn't look like he even bothered showing up. I don't know if they're just enjoying the sun down there. I don't know what it is. And I get it. Coots was trying to set the tone of his team. I think it was a little too late. I think Matthew Dumba was just just picked them apart, and you can't have that. So, and then you have Travis Sanheim, kind of looked like he got injured there towards the end. It looks like looks like someone collapsed on his right knee. He started rolling to the back. It was just an overall sloppy night. And of all things, your head coach, who gets honored, gets thrown to the back, gets ejected from the game. So a all round bad game, just like my internet, is just an all round bad performance from your Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, Pat, it was. And obviously with the importance of this game, you got the potential of a Florida sweep, and you also have a potential of a 4-point swing in the standings. The Flyers are only 4 points ahead of the Islanders, who are going to play 2 more times before the Flyers even step on the ice. And then you got the Lightning, who are not in the Metro, but are right there at 72 points. Well, now they're at 74 points in the wild card. So this was basically a 4-point swing type game, kind of had a divisional game type tempo to it, and the team came out completely flat. The team came out completely, just not having a spark. Igor Zamula went down with the illness prior to the game. They couldn't get Ginning back down to Florida, so they were going down. They were shorthanded another defenseman heading into the night, but you got to play better against a team like this at this time of the season, because this is what you play for. This is what you strive to get to at game 70 or 65, wherever we are here in the season, because these are the types of teams you're going to play in the playoffs. It's going to be this type of thing. And they definitely did not answer the test. They did not answer the bell. And just a real disappointing and concerning performance more than anything.
Yeah, it is. It's very concerning. And again, just when I've been complaining to you for quite some time now. For the past 3 to 4 weeks, I've said, let's go all in. I felt this team had the stuff. And then you have this team like the Tampa Bay Lightning who stockpiled all up at the trade deadline, and just reminds me, let's get back to course here. Let's get back. This is the reason why you're not ready. This is the reason why you're not ready for the big time yet. You're not there yet. This is when you face teams like of this echelons who, like I said, again, Tampa Bay Lightning get swallowed up by the Calgary Flames. So you knew they were going to come back. You knew they were going to come out with some intensity. You knew they were getting ready to play you hard and tough, and they didn't. They just and I would like I said, I thought the Flyers would have some momentum, beating the Florida Panthers. I thought there was something there, and nothing, just nothing, just. You fell flat, and that's how all around this whole team. I mean, whether you were trying to start, some fighting and all that stuff, and it was just all equal to nothing. I mean, a tons of shots were given, and we were just pretty much neck and neck as far as shots, and it just all went one way.
Well, this game was pretty much played and won and lost in the first 11 minutes of the game. The Flyers came out and just basically could not withstand the initial rush of the Lightning. It was actually comical at one point in the first period that the Lightning were just playing, they were just toying with the Flyers. They outshoot them 16-9 for the period or something like that, and just really kind of took it to them in all aspects. Got some favorable calls. I'll give 1 or 2 of those penalties the favorable nod there, but that's not the reason why the Flyers got outskated in the first period. They just weren't ready. They didn't match the intensity that the Lightning brought, and that is what's more concerning. The Flyers are what they are, and you're going up against a team that boasts Stamkos, Kucherov, and Hedman, and the list goes on and on and on. LaPointe, I mean, it just goes on and on. This is a team that's built, battle-tested. I mean, they celebrated their 20th anniversary of a Stanley Cup before game time. They know what it takes to win a Stanley Cup. The Flyers do not, and the Flyers don't boast that type of lineup. They got to play 110% every game. Flyers can't take a game off. They just are not that type of team. And when you get down and you just can't kind of get your footing to start a game, and you let Tampa basically run all over you, you're not going to be able to come back from a 4-0 deficit against the Tampa Bay Lightning if you're the Flyers built the way they currently are. They don't have the offensive firepower to do that. Sam Ersson, listen, people are going to give him a pass. I'm noticing a couple disturbing trends with him. One is his inability to kind of read the puck through the screen. That's become a trend lately that I've been picking up on. I know some of the goals tonight were straight up clean looks that he messed up. I mean, he didn't have a good night to begin with, but the trend of him not being able to pick up a puck through a screen has definitely kind of reared its ugly head, in my opinion. I don't know, again, where else are we going to go looking for a goalie at this stage? This is what it is. This is what the Flyers are. Ersson had a bad game. The team had a bad game around him, but it's concerning because of the moment, the type of game it was. I mentioned a potential 4-point swing here between the Islanders and the Metro, who will play 2 more times before the Flyers get back on the ice on Tuesday against San Jose. And then, of course, the Lightning, who were right below the Flyers in the wild card. So the Flyers fall out of that number 3 hole in the Metro. Then they're down with the Lightning and the Red Wings battling for those final 2 playoff spots. This was a very important game. I would have much preferred them to lose against the Panthers and win this game.
You're 100% right. And real fast, Marshall's checking in. He goes, people are so short-sighted. It's one game. Have some perspective. Did any that we would be in the spotlight in the beginning of the year? Actually, I did, Marshall, believe it or not. I'm one of the few that thought that they were going to have a shot of making it this far in dance just because of they got rid of some pieces. And I thought this was going to be a glistening hope. Now, I thought actually that's where they would be right now. Not a 6 seed, but that to me is a little ahead of schedule. Angry Anthony checking his Arson did not have much bad games, but defensively it all fell apart. Yeah, listen, and I agree. There's really times Arison looks really good when he gets his butterfly effect, if you will, if he spread the eagle the whole 9. He's really decent. But then there's other times like tonight where I don't know if the light gets too big for him, when he's expected to shine his biggest, and then there's, like you said, he can't read a puck. He has issues. And then like when one gets by, it's a snowball effect. If he can let one go by, 12 will go by, and it's not good for this Philadelphia Flyers team trending forward. And because now all of a sudden you put a lot more pressure on your offense. Of course, now the guys are overshooting pucks, overthinking, trying to do all those other small little tangible things that they're trying to overdo, trying to get back on the scoreboard, and they just find themselves digging deeper and deeper into a hole. It's like getting stuck in a ditch. The tires just keeps on trending, and it's just getting worse before it's getting any better. And that's where they are sometimes. When I look at this Philadelphia Flyers team, and it's again, you want to hang with the big boys. A night where you get Travis Konechny back in your lineup, and it was just, where was he? Where was he? Like the only time I saw Cam Axon, I realized Cam Axon was on the ice is when he got in that little scrimmage. Other than that, I didn't realize he was on the. I thought he was back of a milk carton. I mean, Matty B, this is some troubled water.
Yeah, it is. And let me go back. I want to go back to the comment here because I think it's very interesting, and I want to bring it up. What short-sightedness are you referring to, Marshall? Nobody on this. Well, I know I can speak for myself. I can't speak for flippity flop over there. I can speak for me. There is no short-sightedness here. This is year 1 of a rebuild. This is house money. You're absolutely right. I'm pointing out an effort tonight that kind of shined all this team's real bad deficiencies and put on spotlight why they're not going to win a Stanley Cup this year and why this is definitely a first year of a rebuild. I don't know what your expectations are of the Flyers this year, Marshall. If it's anything other than potentially getting to the playoffs, then you need to check yourself, because this team is not built to make any kind of deep run in the playoffs, but it's been a good news story up to this point. We've trended in the right direction. Based on what last season was and what the seasons prior to that were, this has been a great season. They lost 7-0. All right, there is issues here to talk about. It wasn't 1-0 in overtime. They got shellacked within the first 10 minutes of the game. There's some things to talk about. Short-sightedness, no, man, that's called reality, dude. No one's being short-sighted here. They were blown off the ice by a superior opponent. And that is the issue, because we're trying to reach the level of the Tampa Bay Lightning. And we saw tonight exactly how far off that level we are.
You know what? It's funny you bring that up, Matt. They were talking about Eric Johnson coming to the Philadelphia Flyers from the Buffalo Sabres, being a defenseman looking for a new home because he wasn't pretty much paying out and well over in Buffalo. And here I am getting excited because maybe that's what he needed, new home, and he was going to start fresh. And boy, it was I wrong because I couldn't tell you where he was on the ice because what stuff was he making out there? Well, definitely again, you can see where they needed Nick Sealer. Nick Sealer was much improved, or what was much needed for a defenseman on that ice because I mean, it didn't matter. You could have Patrick Wild back there. You know, you were not getting no help from your defenseman at all tonight because again, you're 4 goals in 4 minutes. I mean, 11 minutes. Again, 2 of them were power plays, 2 of them were regular goals. I mean, still, I mean, the way that that Lightning team just picked apart this team, just find the open guys across the blue line. Didn't matter if they found guys over the middle, covering 3 defensive zone schemes. It didn't matter. Like I watched this Lightning team just do their thing tonight. And again, Stamkos now has Pat, Anthony Duclair, Matt Dumba. I mean, that team is just physical, tough, and now they got fired on cylinders. That's a team. It looks like they're going to try to cause the Boston Bruins problems or the New York Rangers. We look like we're just built for 2 wins of a first round of a playoff game and first round of the series, and we're out. Which is, like you said, it's a phenomenal story up until this point.
Yeah, and
But
that's why I guess the biggest thing heading forward now is this game. Is this the beginning of the trend? Is this the beginning of who the Flyers really are, or if this is just another bump in the road? They had an off night. They really did. But did they have an off night, or again, were they just skated off the ice by a superior opponent? That's what we need to look at. Not necessarily, we're giving up hope on this team. What kind of hope does anybody have? It's called being real about the situation. Johnson, he did find his way. He was standing around a lot tonight and did get confused on a power play at one point. Now, the Flyers were 3 for 4 on the penalty kill. That means they gave up 3 goals and four shorthanded. That's horrible. That for the number 1 rated penalty kill unit in the NHL to get exposed on the penalty kill. That's another issue. Now that's not short-sightedness. That's friggin' reality. And then of course our power play continues to struggle. 0 for 4 tonight. 12 for like 200 or 26 for like 206 on the season. 12.7% effective. That's not short-sightedness, Pat. That's reality, all right? So, and that's what burns my biscuits about some fans. It's a great story. It's been a great story. But there are some glaring holes on this team that have not been addressed and will not be addressed probably for a little while as we get further down the road. So, again, perspective.
Yes. But like you said, it is a glaring problem. Again, the Bolts put up a touchdown on you. A touchdown. You did nothing in response. You just sat there and played flat-footed hockey. Here, Sean Couturier, hey, let me be the captain, trying to start a rah-rah fight, trying to get my teammates. And what did that do? Take one of your best players off the ice and send them in the send bin. That's all it did is get you a little bit more rest time. Angry Anthony says it was Johnson's first game with the Flyers. How do you play good with new teammates after getting traded yesterday? Listen, it worked out for Anthony Dunbar. He looked like he was doing okay out there. Anthony Duclair, I'm sorry. It looked like he was doing fine. He goes, who's better, the Flyers or Tobias Harris? Let's go with the Flyers. Flyers a little bit. I mean, tonight, not so much. Tonight it looked like when you put up a big donut against a team that you're competing with in the standings, a team that you're trying to tread water with. No, this is not how you want to perform. Heading back home, so I would love to be a fly on the wall for that airplane ride coming back home with John Tortorella and that team because he was frustrated enough with that team leading up to his ejection. So I mean, and you can't blame the team; it just looked bad.
They did. So, and was there anything, Pat, positive that you could pull out of tonight's game at all? Anything?
Yeah, Gritty wasn't there. I would say maybe that big goop. I mean, no, there was nothing that you could take away. I mean, again, they gave Felix Sandstrom. He looked okay for about 5 minutes, and there was nothing. There was no there to me. There was, I mean, other than Owen Tippett looked like he was heading to the dressing room after getting dinged up, and he made it back onto the ice, which was a saving grace. Other than that, I mean, there's no possible, there's no outcome. You're look like you're fully strength, ready to go. And without Nick Sealer, it just shows me without him, man, that defense is cooked.
Yeah, I mean they regulated a little bit in the second period. What, they were outshot 16-9 in the first period, and then the rest of the way they outshot them 16-10. But they just didn't have enough. They don't have no. They cannot come back from 4-0 against the Lightning on the road. They don't have the horses in the barn for that. That's just not the team they were. And then you had insult to injury, as you mentioned earlier on, the Travis Sanheim injury at the end of the game. This was definitely not a game that you're going to sit here and try to extrapolate any kind of positives, because it was not a positive game. The Flyers were not prepared to play this game, and the Lightning exposed them, and the Lightning kind of embarrassed them, and they should be embarrassed. Tortorella should be embarrassed. The team should be embarrassed. Everybody should be embarrassed for the effort here tonight. Again, a potential 4-point swing in a very tight Eastern Conference playoff race in a game that you really kind of needed tonight. You really did.
Well, again, the one good thing you could take out of this, you go back home, you're playing a defeated Sharks team. You could build some momentum, work on some things, and then after that, I think the schedule starts to get hot and heavy for you again. So, but you got to realize at some point, this is who you're going to be facing on a night-to-night basis. Teams like
No, you're right.
Tampa,
Yeah.
the Sharks are no longer going to be in your schedule. You know what I
And
mean? You're
listen,
not going
don't
to have those
overlook the
easy games.
Sharks. Don't overlook the
No.
Sharks. The Flyers came out there. Remember back in December when they played them, or November, whenever it was, the Sharks hadn't won a game yet, and they beat the Flyers for their first win. Now the Sharks are actually considerably worse now than they were then. But you know what? Don't overlook the Sharks. We can't. That's the mentality we got to stay away from, Pat. There's no games off for this team. The Flyers are not in a position to take any games off against any opponent, because they're not. They got to play 110% their game in order to win. They're not going to win on their talent. So going in on Tuesday, and by the way, here you go, for those of you who are keeping score at home, this is your Clear the Ice schedule for next week. Me and Pat will be back together on Tuesday night doing that Sharks game, and then Austin and Al on Thursday for the Maple Leafs, and Saturday is Pat and Mike for the Bruins. So another full week here on the program. But you can't take any of those games off. None of them. Toronto and Boston are going to be tough. San Jose is going to be tough. They can't take any games off.
I got Tyrone checking. What's up, buddy? But yeah, that's you just showed me a gauntlet schedule. I got to work with Mike next Saturday night and Sunday morning. Oh yeah. That's Merv's Row.
That's why you paid the big money, Pat.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, the Philadelphia Flyers have to try and figure this out, because it's ugly right now. And like I said, you have to, like you say, you can't sleep on the Sharks. And you have to play your game. You have to start attacking the net. Things they kind of drift away from. You want to play zone. You want to play constantly. Get the read the flags and all that stuff. You want to get the goals that you need. You need your snipers to come through. I haven't seen a Travis Connect. He's been injured, but I need to see Travis Connect and start getting on the scoreboard. I need to see Owen Tippett. I need to see your playmakers start making plays. And I need a lot of those, I need all those intangibles to start taking place. So hopefully the Philadelphia Flyers will get things going in the near future. Yes, Tyrone. Yes. But let's take a look around the scoreboard as we shall. As you look at it, the Buffalo Sabres rocked but they beat the Oilers at home 3-2. You had the Blue Jackets losing at home to the Predators, losing 2-1. The Hurricanes go into North Jersey, take care of business for the 2. Pittsburgh Penguins go into B-Town and catch a beat down by the Bruins, losing 5-1. The Panthers had stayed home again. Roy Firmish, you got the redemption against the Calgary Flames, winning 5-1. Tampa, the battle up north. Maple Leafs go up to the Montreal and take care of the Canadiens. You have the Sharks take care of Ottawa, and of course your Philadelphia Flyers getting a touchdown scored on by the Lightning. The Capitals win 4-1 over the Blackhawks, and then the Rangers win 4-0, and then the Canucks are winning right now 1-0, and then you have the Golden Knights winning 1-0, and then you of course 10:30 start time. LA and the Stars. So with that being said, Matty B, of course, let's get into some of the beautiful, great sponsors here on Edge of Philly Sports. Guys, check out all these great sponsors. Let's start out with guys. If you guys want to head out, book your trip now for the Eagles. We'll be heading down to Brazil. take on the. We don't know who they're going to be playing, but what we do know is the Birds are heading down to Brazil uh, in the near future. So, guys, if you want to head down there, all you passionate Eagles fans, head on down, hook up with Philly Sports Trips, talk to my man Vinny. He's the engineer, he's the head honcho over there. Go check him out today. Guys, hit up David Archerry Esquire for all your work, compensation, medical, vehicle accidents, personal injury, criminal. Hit him up there. His number's right there on the screen for you, 610-565-0300. And of course, guys, Sherry tickets. Guys, if you guys want to go to a Flyers game, maybe you want to go see them against that Flyers team. Maybe it's you who's the Gremlins hope for the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, guys, you go to sherrytickettown.com. Save yourself 10% off by using that promo code EOP10. Great prices, no hidden fees, sports, concerts, theaters, great prices, family operated and owned since 1946. And of course, guys, if maybe you want to get away from this Flyers nonsense, maybe it's just drove me off a wall like it's done to me. Maybe you want to go out tomorrow night and check out the Sixers and Knicks game. Well, look, go to Dolan's Bar. Great time, great places. You never want to miss a beat right there. So again, we got a lot more action coming up for you tomorrow, PM and AM. Without me, it'll be Al and Mike. They got you covered. But Matt, huh?
Where you going? Where are you going?
I'm going to be down the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh,
I got wings
the morning
coverage.
Game. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to make it. But Matt, I'm going to go your route. What is your 3 stars of the game?
I will give you my 3 stars of the game. I'm going to give you my 3 Flyer stars of the game because in a 7-0 loss, of course, there's 3 players that have distinguished themselves as great. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody, along with the Dolan stuff, don't forget this. On May 25th, Dolan's annual Wiffle Ball Mania Spectacular will be happening again. And this year, you're not seeing this wrong. John Kruk will be appearing in the Wiffle Ball Mania game on Saturday, May 25th, along with Wiffle Ball Mania veteran Mickey Morandini. So, again, just another reason to keep Dolan's open on your calendar. So, so make sure you're checking all that out. All right, Pat, you want to do my 3 Flyer stars of the game?
Yeah, let's roll it.
I will give you my 3 Flyer stars of the game.
Well, we're going to try to pick them out.
My number 3 Flyer star, I'm going to go with the head coach, John Tortorella. You could see the frustration on his face very early. He kind of knew it was coming. He kind of knew the game was starting to spiral out of control. And he did the one thing that all good head coaches do. He ran away from it before it got too bad. He pulled himself out of the equation before it got too bad. He finished the night somewhere in Tampa, probably sitting poolside with a margarita, watching the game off the bar TV. I don't know. He tried to do at that point. It's kind of like all hands on deck. Try to inspire your team any way you can. I'm going to give John Tortorella a lot of credit for getting thrown out tonight. Again, it shows that he's got a pulse. It shows that he's a good head coach, and he's the right head coach for this team. So, John Tortorella is my number 3 star, and my number 2 star. I think it's a good one, Pat. My number 2 star. There's no offensive production to speak of tonight, but Morgan Frost. I'm going to go with him as my number 2. He only had 1 shot registered on net, but he was trying to make things happen all night long in the neutral zone, trying to get creative with passes, trying to create offense. It just wasn't happening. But I've been liking what I've been seeing from Morgan lately. I don't know what his future with this team is. I was actually surprised he survived the trade deadline. But you know what? I'm going to give hats off to Morgan Frost tonight for at least trying to make an attempt offensively to get the team going. And it didn't work. But again, hats off to Morgan Frost for at least showing up and breaking a sweat. And my number 1 star of the night, as you mentioned earlier, the man who dropped the gloves. Anytime your captain drops the gloves, it's a good night or a bad night. I don't know what it is, but it's an inspiring night. So Sean Couturier is my number 1 star, Pat.
There I go again. Dude, I got to really – I don't know what's going on, but I could tell you right off the bat, my 3 stars a night. I'm going to have to go piggyback you. I think it was very brilliant the way you thought about John Tortorella getting out of harm's way before he could feel the writing was on the roll. This was not going to get better, and it only got worse from here on out. He kind of knew it. He was already frustrated. I know he snapped on the referee. I really know he couldn't wait to the first intermission to snap on that team of his. But I got to give the torch for that. and then now, right now, this is where it becomes nitpicking to find my two other stars. Um, Again, Nick Steeler would be number two because him not being on the ice hurts this team that much more. So that's going to be my number two, even though he's had nothing. Has nothing to do with that game. And number three, my whining child in the background, just he sat there with me and watched this horrible mess. So no, number three, I would have to give it to TK for trying to get back in this game and try and make things work.
Outstanding. Yeah, I agree with those. They're good. Those are all good number. There's all good 3 stars for a game to saw the team lose 7-0. So I thought we did a yeoman's job, Pat, trying to pull out some positives there. Well, at least giving some three players some props there.
Yeah, I totally agree, Matt. I'll be right back. I'm like I said, I'm going to try to work on this thing.
Listen, Pat, I'll wrap it up, man.
Yes.
I'll wrap the show up, man. I got you.
Thanks.
All right, so there's Pat. He's going to take off and try to figure out the technical problems. You got me, Matty B, for the rest of the way out. Listen, everybody, 7-0. There's nothing more I can really kind of say about this. It was over before it started. Concerning on a lot of levels for this team. Concerning that they really were just so inept on trying to even put up a fight against the Tampa Bay Lightning, as the Lightning offensively just kind of just overwhelmed the Flyers. They did show some fight. Nick Delorier with the fight early in the game when they were down. I think it was 2-0 at this point. They were trying to motivate the team. But in the end of the day, you're not going to be able to come back 4-0 against the Lightning with a team like the Flyers, against a team like the Lightning. It is a potential 4-point swing, as I've mentioned a couple times already. That's concerning as well, as the Islanders will play tomorrow in Anaheim and Monday in LA. And the Flyers won't play at all till Tuesday. So this landscape could be completely different come Tuesday night when the Flyers step on the ice against San Jose. And just, again, a lot of concerning issues about this team. But we got to put this in the rear view, and we got to do better, and we got to fight for tomorrow. And that, of course, is not tomorrow, but Tuesday. And there you go. Here's your Clear to Ice schedule for the rest of next week. Me and Pat on Tuesday, Austin and Al on Thursday, and Pat and Mike on Saturday. And, are you back?
Yeah, I think I fixed everything. Yeah, I think I got it all. I think I got it all.
Listen, let's take it home, man, because I think we've done enough. One last sponsor I do want to mention is the good folks over there at the Cherry Law Firm. Dave Cherry for all your workman's compensation, motor vehicle, personal injury, criminal law, www.cherryinjurylaw.com or 610-565-0300. Parting words there, Pat.
Parting words, bounce back. Bounce back. John Tortorella's got to have to, train that much harder. Obviously, you're warming up the stuff. I mean, you let your frustrations out early on this team. I imagine a lot of players will be facing the doghouse come Monday or Tuesday rather, and no, it's just gonna have to bounce back, get in people's grills. Do you guys want this playoffs? How bad do you want it? If you want, you guys tell us how you want it. How you guys tell the front office how bad you want to be here. You mentioned about Morgan Frost being on the trading block. He just missed it by like this much. So if he wants to prove that he wants to be a Philadelphia Flyer, for years to come, well, you better start shaping things up. So not just him, some other guys too. So yeah, I agree with you, Matt. This team needs to get a lot better.
Yeah, they do. But overall, when you look at this thing, the Flyers are at 74 points. They finished with 75 all of last year. So again, I think when we do look back on this win, lose, or draw this season, it's a positive step in the right direction. But again, I think a game like tonight really kind of puts back into focus how far we really are from the elites of the NHL and how much of a good news story we are, but a lot of work is left yet to do to get this team where it needs to be. So, Pat, listen, I'm glad I was able to hop on with you and take the rest of the way.
That's why they call you. That's why you get paid the big bucks. That's why you're the Matty B, the saving grace around here. Matty B, one more thing. Where can the people find? What's your next project for EOP or in general?
You got me every Mondays on Talking Philly Sports with Matty B, of course, here on Clear the Ice. And then, of course, the biggest news here, I guess we're all preparing for, is this Boys of Summer getting ready to return and the Fighting's Final getting ready to return for its third year. And just a little note there that we will be coming at you here within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Pat's a part of that too, with our preview show for set you guys up for the 2024 season. And then all over on the written side of things, I'm throwing out articles every day on We're starting to break down the MLB draft. We're also starting to break down Flyer prospects, Phillies spotlight articles wrapping up. I think I got 3 more players left to go. So I'm done going through the entire team. We're also doing Flyers prospects, and then the NHL draft. We are going to cover the NHL draft this year. There's going to be some stuff dropping on May 1st to start getting you ready for the NHL draft. So just a lot of stuff keeping me busy here.
Yeah, and like I said, and guys, of course, you guys can catch Matty B on X. Guys, give him a follow. Always good stuff right there. As you can see, Peach, Philly Matt number 7, Peach number 7. So and again, guys, Matty B Monday night with Bill Matz going to be breaking down all this mess about going on with the Philadelphia Flyers. So that's always intriguing to listen to and watch. So guys, give Matty B a follow. And again, guys, tomorrow I will not be with PM and AM, and no Angry Anthony. I will not be sleeping. I won't be taking a nap after Pasta Sunday. No, I won't. Tomorrow I will be covering the Philadelphia Wings down at the Wells Fargo Center, and then I will be on with all across all the time with those guys bringing hopefully the Philadelphia Wings can get you guys a win and get you close to the playoffs for their season as well. So, guys, enjoy your night. Me and Matty B, thank you so much for filling in for my man Austin. But anyway, guys, good night. I won't say good hockey. And yeah, we'll see you back at the Barn Hole come Tuesday.